Hey, what's up you guys? It's Dorothy and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Comment down below what you want to see in the future. Click that subscribe button and turn on my post notifications. That way you get notified every single time I upload a video. And I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you guys so excuse me. I almost puked with that one. Much for supporting me and, giving this channel lots of love. I really appreciate the 310 of you. I don't know if there's more, but last time I looked there was 310 of you, and I'm so freaking excited because, whoa, where did time fly? Like, I just started doing videos in, what was it, August? Yeah, August of last year. We're almost at a full year of doing this channel. Like, it's so freaking crazy. I think it was August. If not, I'll correct myself later. But when it comes to a year, I'm gonna be doing a year special. But it's so crazy to think that you guys have been giving me so much support and love. And on the first video of the first book for this, which this is Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. So the first video that we did where we were reading A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, that video is currently at 6.4 thousand views. Like, oh my gosh, like, what? My mind is blown because it keeps going up and I don't know what the heck is going on. But it's a true blessing to have all of you guys supporting me, and I'm so thankful. And yeah, in this video I already looked at the book, so we're going to be doing chapter 12 and 13 in this video, just because chapter 12 is a short chapter, chapter 13 is kind of a short chapter, so I thought I would just put them together. So anyway, don't forget to have your daily dose of Red Bull, and let's get started. This video may contain sensitive topics and foul language. If you do not wish to continue, please click off the video now. You have been warned. Alrighty, ladies and gents. Chapter 12 of Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. We are almost officially halfway through this book. So, yeah. They sat separated by two laptops on the kitchen island, the tapping of their keys in a pattern that fell in and out of unison. "You're going too fast," Pip said to Ravi, peering at him over the top of her screen. "We need to look carefully at each one." "Oh," he said sarcastically, making a face. "Didn't realize we were looking for clues in the night sky." He turned his laptop, showing her 4 consecutive photos of Chinese lanterns floating against the darkness. "Just checking, Rumpus. That's my name for you," he said. "You aren't allowed to have it." Pip went back to the screen, clicking through the photos and videos that had been emailed to her over by the calamity goers. Ravi was going through the memorial photographs. More than 200 had already been sent in. Is this the best use of our time?" Ravi skipped quickly through another sequence of photos. "We know Jamie went to the calamity party after the memorial, and now we know he left there alive, and well, at least at 10:30. Shouldn't we be trying to track down his movements after that?" "We know he left the calamity party," said Pip, "but we still don't know why he was there, which is strange enough by itself. And then to add to that, the phone conversation George had, it's like it's all behavior that's very out of character. I mean, you saw Connor's face when I told him. It's weird. There's no other word for it. Jamie's behavior starting from the memorial is weird. It has to be relevant to his disappearance somehow, I guess." Ravi returned his gaze to his laptop screen. "So we're thinking Jamie spotted someone, whoever they are, at the memorial. He found them in the crowd and waited, and then he followed them when they walked toward Higmore and to the party." Gropey Stevens said it looked like Jamie was standing there watching. "I think so." Pip chewed her bottom lip. "That makes the most sense to me, which means that someone is most likely a person at school in my grade or maybe a junior." "Why would Jamie follow someone from your school?" Pip picked up the uneasiness in Ravi's voice, though he tried to disguise it. She felt an instinct to defend Jamie, but all she could say was, "I really don't know." Nothing about it looked good. She was glad she'd sent Connor home with a 4-page questionnaire about typical password elements for him and his mom to try on Jamie's computer. It would be harder to talk about Jamie with him right there, but Pip was struggling to accept it. They had to be missing something that would explain why Jamie had to be at that party. who he was looking for. It must have been important for him to blow Nat off and ignore all of her calls, but what? Pip glanced at the time on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. It was 4:30, and with Jamie's new lasting alive and well time at 10:32 p.m., he'd now been missing for 42 hours. Just 6 hours to go until the 48-hour mark, the mark by which the majority of missing persons, almost 75%, had returned. But Pip had a feeling Jamie wouldn't be one of them. And the next problem, Pip's parents were currently at the supermarket. Her mom had texted her to let her know she'd avoided them all day, and Josh had gone with them, so he was bound to cause some delay with the impulse buying. Last time he persuaded Dad to buy 2 bags of carrot sticks, which went to waste when he remembered he didn't actually like carrots, but even with Josh's distractions they'd be home soon, and there was no way they hadn't seen Jamie's missing posters by now. Well, there was nothing she could do. She'd just have to deal with it when they got back, or maybe avoid it even longer by insisting Ravi never leave. Her parents probably wouldn't yell at her in front of him. Pip clicked through more of the photos sent by Katie C., one of the 6 Katies in her grade. Pip had found evidence of Jamie in only 2 photos of the dozen she'd been through so far, and she wasn't even certain about one of them. It was just the lower part of an arm peeking out behind a group of boys posing for a photo in the hallway. The disembodied arm wore a burgundy shirt that matched Jamie's, and the boxy black watch he'd had on too, so it probably was him, but it gave her no real information other than that Jamie had been walking through the party at 9:16 p.m. Maybe that was when he'd first arrived. In the other photo, you could at least see his face in the background with Javison, a girl in Pip's grade who was sitting on a blue powdered couch. The camera was focused on Jazz, who was pouting in exaggerated sadness, presumably because of the huge red drink stain down the front of her once very white top. Jamie was standing several feet behind her, beside a darkened bay window. He was a little blurred, but Pip could pinpoint his eyes, staring diagonally out the left side of the frame. His jaw looked tense, like he was gritting his teeth. This must have been what Stephen Thompson saw. He did look like he was watching someone. The metadata said the photo was taken at 9:38 p.m., so Jamie had been at the party for at least 22 minutes by this point. He had stood there the whole time watching. Pip opened another email from Chris Marshall in her AP US History class. She downloaded the attached video file, replaced her headphones, and pressed play. It was a series of stills and short video clips. It must have been Chris's story, either Snapchat or Instagram, that he'd saved to his reel. There was a selfie of him and Peter from English downing 2 bottles of beer, following a shorter clip of some guy Pip didn't recognize doing a handstand while Chris cheered him on. Voice crackling against the microphone. Next, a close-up of Chris's tongue, which had somehow turned blue. Then another video clip, the sound exploding into Pip's ears, making her flinch. Voices screeched across each other, people loudly chanting, "Peter! Peter!" While others in the room booed and jeered and laughed. They were in what looked like a dining room, chairs pushed back from the table, which was set up with plastic cups assembled into 2 triangles on either side. Beer pong. They were playing beer pong. Peter from English was on one side of the table, lining up for a shot with a bright orange ping pong ball. Excuse me. One eye screwed shut as he focused. He flicked his wrist, and the ball flew out of his hand, landing with a small splash into one of the outlying cups. Pip's headphones vibrated with the screams that erupted around the room, Peter roaring in every victory as the girl on the other side of the table complained about having to down the drink. But then Pip noticed something else. Her eyes staring to the background. She paused the clip. Standing to the right of the bifold glass doors into the dining room was Kara, mouth wide open as she cheered, a wave of dark liquid erupting from the top of her cup in a frozen moment of time. And there was something else. In a bright, yellow-lit corridor behind Kara, just disappearing beyond the door, was a foot, a silver of leg in jeans, the same color Jamie was wearing the night, and a white sneaker. Pip scrolled the video back 4 seconds before Peter's victory. She pressed play and immediately paused again. There was a figure out in the hallway. His edges were blurred because he was mid-stride, but he had dark blonde hair and a shirt that looked dark red. He was looking down at a dark object clasped between his hands, a phone. Pip unpaused it and watched as the figure walked quickly down the hallway, ignoring the commotion in the dining room, eyes on his phone. Kara's head was turned, following his progress for half a second before the ball landed in the cup, and screaming pulled her attention back to the room. 4 seconds. It had to be Jamie. Had to be. The sighting lasted for just 4 seconds. Then Jamie was gone. His white sneaker, the very last trace of him. Found him, Pip said. Chapter 13. You know what? I might just do chapter 13 in another video because this one's already 8 minutes long. So yeah, we'll go into chapter 13 in another video. I'm sorry, but you know, it takes forever for these videos to upload when they're more than 5 minutes. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.